Master's Son is a 2013 South Korean television series starring Gong, Hyo-jin and So Ji-sub. The horror romantic comedy is written by the Hong sisters, and aired on SBS from August 7 to October 3, 2013 on Wednesdays and Thursdays at 21:55 for 17 episodes. Plot: Jugun-ui is the stingy and greedy CEO of Kingdom, a conglomerate that includes a major department store and hotel. He meets the gloomy Taeyang, who started seeing ghosts after an accident. Their lives take a new turn as they work together to deal with the terror and sadness brought about by the spirits, while delving into a kidnapping incident in Jugun-ui's past. Cast: Main characters: Gong, Hyo-jin as Taeyang. Gong was once bright and sunny. But after a mysterious accident, she suddenly gains the ability to see ghosts. They continually haunt her, some wanting her to fulfill their last wishes, others merely scaring her. Gong becomes an outcast, unable to hold down a job and suffering from insomnia. Now gloomy and easily moved to tears, she works as a cleaning lady at Kingdom Shopping Mall. Then she discovers that the ghosts are banished whenever she touches the company president, Jugun-ui, the most selfish man she's ever known. She begins working for him as his secretary, and because of Jugun-ui, she slowly opens herself up to the world. So Ji-sub as Ju-jth 3/4 president of the Kingdom Group. A self-centered, haughty, ambitious, and money-driven businessman, Jugun-ui puts a price on every relationship. The trauma of a kidnapping incident when he was younger has rendered him extremely mercenary and distrustful, as well as dyslexic. Upon learning of Gong-shil's supernatural ability, he keeps her near him, hoping to use her to communicate with his dead girlfriend Hyo-jin and tracking down the copyright 10 billion ransom paid in the form of Jugun-ui's mother's diamond necklace. But as he grows closer to Gong-shil, Jugun-ui comes to learn the more important things in life. Seo-in-gik as Hangul, a former soldier who served in the Zaetun division of the South Korean Army, which was deployed to Iraq in the mid-2000s. After his discharge, he uses that experience and skill set in pursuing a job in the private sector, thus leading him to become hired as the head of security of Jugun-ui's shopping mall company. He mysteriously keeps tabs on Jugun-ui, and notes the latter's interest in Gong-shil, who is his neighbor at the apartment building he had recently moved into. As part of his plan, Hangul confesses that he likes Gong-shil, but his feelings soon begin to turn real. Kim Yuri as Taeyang, a top star and the model of Jugun-ui's shopping mall. Yoo-young's wedding to a soccer player is inadvertently wrecked by Gong-shil, whom she considered her high school rival. Though not related, they share the same surname and in high school they were given the following nicknames. The then more popular Gong-shil was called Big Sun, while the homely Yoo-young, who wore braces and glasses, was called Little Sun, wanting revenge against Gong-shil for her bitter high school experiences and ruined wedding. Yoo-young plans on seducing Jugun-ui, but finds herself falling for Hangul instead. Supporting characters: Kim Mi-kyung as Ju Sung-ran, Jugun-ui's aunt. Lee Jong-won as Do Sok-shul, Sung-ran's much younger husband, and vice president of Kingdom Group. Choi Young-woo as Kim Gui-do, Jugun-ui's secretary, who also happens to be a lawyer and child psychologist. He is supportive of Jugun-ui and Gong-shil's relationship. Secretary Kim is later revealed to be Hee-ju and Hannah's uncle. Park Hee-bon as Tae-gong-ri, Gong-shil's older sister who works at a coffee shop. Kim Yong-gun as Chairman Ju, Jugun-ui's father. He hired Hangul to secretly spy on his son. Lee Do-yeon as Lee Sung-mo, little boy who lives in Gong-shil's apartment building. Hong Eun-taek as Lee Sung-joon, little boy who lives in Gong-shil's apartment building. Lee Jae-won as Lee Han-ju, member of Kingdom's security team. Jung Ga-yeon as Aunt Jin-ju, a meddlesome busybody and employee at Kingdom Shopping Mall. Elle as young Ju Jugun-ui, Han Bo-rom as Ka Hee-ju, Jugun-ui's ex-girlfriend. She was killed during a botched kidnapping attempt. Originally thought to be a victim, Jugun-ui learns that Hee-ju was in cahoots with the kidnappers, a fact that he has never revealed to anyone. So when Gong-shil sees her ghost hovering around him, Jugun-ui strikes a deal with her to find out who the co-conspirator was. But Hee-ju refuses to tell Gong-shil, implying that she is protecting that person. Wang's son He is Hannah Brown. Hee-ju and Hannah were twin sisters, whose birth parents were poor artists who died in an accident. They were separated when Hannah was adopted and raised comfortably in England, while Hee-ju grew up in an orphanage. After the twin sisters meet in their teens, the girl Jung-won falls for is actually sweet and gentle Hannah, whom he thinks is Hee-ju. Driven insane with jealousy and envy that Hannah has taken everything from her, the real Hee-ju masterminds the kidnapping. After Hannah's death, Hee-ju assumes her twin sister's identity. She later undergoes cosmetic surgery to change her facial features, moves next door to Aunt Sung-ran, and continues her revenge against Jung-won. Lee Chun-hee as Yoo-jin-woo. He fell in love with Gong Shil's spirit while her body was in a coma. Guest and cameo appearances: Jin Yi-han as Yoo Hae-sung, top soccer player. He is engaged to Yi Ryung, and they're about to be married in a lavish wedding sponsored by Kingdom Group. But their arguments about their future yield no compromise. He wants to keep playing soccer abroad despite his age and injuries, while she wants him to stay in the country so that they can become the Korean Becks and Posh. Hae-sung has never gotten over his girlfriend Mi-kyung, whom he believes dumped him cruelly before he became famous, thus driving him to succeed. Song Min-young as Kim Mi-kyung, ghost in bridal gown, Hae-sung's dead ex-girlfriend. She and Hae-sung were happy and in love, and she utterly believed in his athletic abilities. But when Mi-kyung learned that she was terminally ill, she broke up with Hae-sung without telling him the reason. But seeing him in a loveless relationship with Yi Ryung, her ghost reappears before him, leading him to cancel the wedding and decide to keep playing soccer. Lee Sung-young as Hae-sung's manager, he blackmails Hae-sung using Mi-kyung's name, knowing full well that she's already deceased. Nam Myung-ryul as man unwilling to sell his house. His house is built in the middle of the land Jung-won is planning to turn into a golf course. He previously agreed to sell his house to Jung-won, then reneges on their deal, saying his dead wife opposes his decision to sell, since the flower on her favorite plant never wilts. Jung-won cuts off the flower, and gets his contract. The man tells Jung-won, if ghosts exist, they'll get you for sure. Kim Dong-gun as gambler's son, the ghost of his elderly mother appears before Gong Shil to hand over her bank book containing a copyright 10 million for her funeral expenses and to pay off their debts. Instead, the son gambles away the money. Lee Sung-woo as Gong Shil's date, he tries to kiss her, but Gong Shil pushes him away after seeing a ghost over his shoulder. Bang Minor as Kim Ga-young, leader of a three-member schoolgirl clique, who think they're being haunted by the ghost of a classmate they'd Myung-jeoled. Kim Bo-ra as Hyo-jin, member of the schoolgirl clique. Park Hyo-bin as Ju-yeon, member of the schoolgirl clique. Lee Hyun as Lee Yun-sol, schoolgirl ghost. Lee Yun-sol had wanted to be Ga-young, Yoo-jin and Ju-yeon's friend. She followed them to Kingdom Mall one day, but after overhearing them mocking her, she ran away and was hit by an oncoming truck. Later, the three tearfully apologize for treating her badly, and Yun-sol shows her forgiveness when a nearby vending machine drops 3 sodas, in their favorite flavors. Kim Min-ha as Park Ji-yeon, another classmate who wanted to scare the clique, after witnessing them being mean to Yun-sol that day at the mall. So using the cell phone that Yun-sol had left behind, Ji-yeon sent the three a photo of themselves in front of the mall's fountain with a photoshopped Yun-sol. Kim Sang-jung as host of Unsolved Mysteries TV show, Yoo Kyung-won as Choi Yoon-hee, Red Shoe Ghost. A wealthy woman whose mother owns buildings in the affluent Gangnam district. Yoon-hee not only catches her husband cheating on her, she also overhears him telling his mistress that he plans to kill her and make it look like a hiking accident. He sees her and chases her through the empty mall, and while driving to get away from him, her car hits a parked truck and Yoon-hee dies. Baek Sung-yeon as Yoon-hee's husband, a store owner in Kingdom Mall. He acts as Yoon-hee's devoted husband, and later, a grieving widower. But in reality, he plans to kill his wife and his mother-in-law to get his hands on their money. Gong Shil and Jung-won reveal the truth about his misdeeds, though Jung-won gruffly claims he only did it because the culprit had been planning to transfer his store to Kingdom Mall's competitor, Giant Mall. Jang Ga-yeon as Red Lipstick Ghost, she possesses vain and insecure women, telling them, "You're the most beautiful." Yumin Kaya as Ji-woo, groom ghost. Because of his sickly constitution, he never left his grandmother's mansion. Ji-woo fell in love with Sun Young, the tomboyish girl who delivered milk to their house. Too embarrassed to tell her that he likes her, he constantly teased and bickered with Sun Young. But before he could confess, he fell ill and died young. Kim Bo-mi as Sun Young, milk delivery girl. After Ji-woo teasingly compared her to a green rose, cabbage-looking and not very pretty, he kissed her. But she ran away, thinking he was just messing with her. After Gong Sil and Jung-won track her down, she learns the truth about Ji-woo's feelings and cries upon seeing the bouquet of green roses in his room that never wilts. After the ghost of Ji-woo leans in to kiss Sun Young one last time, President Wang sees the flowers finally wilt and disappear. Gong Sil tells Jung-won that green roses symbolize a rare noble love that only exists in heaven. Shin Yang-ja is President Wang, Ji-woo's grandmother, and company president. She believes that her grandson's spirit isn't at peace because he died without ever falling in love, so she hires a shaman to arrange a ghost marriage for him, but Ji-woo keeps rejecting the brides. Initially planning to invest in Giant Mall, Wang offers to back Jung-won financially if he'll let Gong Sil become her grandson's ghost bride. Lee Yong-nyo as Madame Go, shaman and famous ghost matchmaker of the upper crust. She tells Gong Sil that the reason ghosts are drawn to her and seek her out is because she shines so brightly, ominously adding that Gong Sil needs to be on her guard because they're unregistered trademark looking for an opportunity to return. Hong Won-pyo as Young Shul, a soldier who'd found it tough adjusting to mandatory military service, until he was assigned to train an army dog. They become the best of friends, with the dog defending him from bullies and Young Shul teaching the dog to dance to Nobody, a song by his favorite girl group. After the dog fell ill, Young Shul is ordered to put down the animal, and the trauma drives him to go AWOL. His ghost dog appears before Gong Sil, and she and Jung-won prevent Young Shul from committing suicide. Jo Hui-jun as Chang Min, a young boy who's a victim of child abuse. His doll is haunted by 3 children who died from similar parental neglect and violence. In the process of rescuing him, Gong Sil and Jung-won get arrested for trespassing and kidnapping, but are later released. Kingdom Group pays for Chang Min's medical bills and reports his mother for her crime. Kim Hee-young as Kang Gil-ja, an overworked and underappreciated ajumma who received a voucher for Kingdom Hotel and enormously enjoyed her stay there. Now comatose at a hospital, her spirit keeps haunting the hotel swimming pool because she never wants to leave. Gong Sil urges her to return to life, and Gil-ja wakes up and sees her family tearful with gratitude at her recovery. Lung Chan as Louis Zhang, a famous concert pianist who was utterly dependent on his wife, and can't get over her recent death. When the ghost of his dead wife possesses Gong Sil's body, he attempts to take her to Paris with him as his muse. Lee Hyo-rim as Louis Zhang's wife, Gong Sil helps her bake a pie for her husband. She borrows Gong Sil's body to drive some sense into her husband one last time. Tired of living in Louis's shadow when she was alive, she tells him that he's not picky but lazy, and that he has to let her go. Seo Hyo-rim as Park Seo-yeon, a shareable heiress. During Jung-won's business trip to China, she agrees to become his fake fiancé. The arrangement is mutually beneficial for both. It enables Seo-yeon to take over her family's company Sejin Group, and Jung-won uses her to keep Gong Sil at arm's length. Jung-won breaks the fake engagement after 1 week. Lee Jong-hyuk as Lee Jae-sok, CEO of Giant Mall, business rival of Kingdom Mall. He's grieving over the death of his father, but also angry because he believes that his father had had a mistress, since women's clothing, makeup and perfume were found scattered in his father's house. Lee Jae-yong as Lee Yong-jae, chairman of Giant Mall, and Jae-sok's father. His ghost eventually reveals that he hadn't been unfaithful to his wife, but instead was secretly a cross-dresser. Original soundtrack, ratings, awards and nominations, international broadcast, Japan, La La TV, April 5, 2014. Philippines, GMA Network, May 19, 2014 to July 10, 2014. References. External links. Masters Son Official SBS website, Masters Son at Han Cinema, Masters Son at the Internet Movie Database.